In the last video, we called the method inside of the helper called getImageSize. Now we're going to create this method. So if we open our helper.php file, and let's scroll right to the bottom before the last closing curly brace, let's create a new public and also static function called getImageSize. And we take two parameters. First one will be the image, the path to the image, and then case. Okay, first of all, we check if is file, which means if this file basically exists. So we're checking, and now let's put some comment first, so that we know later on which index refers to what. 0 we refer to width, 1 we refer to height, then we have 2 which will refer to type of the file, and 3 which will refer to attributes. Basically, attributes is height and width. So attributes basically would display something like this: width equals whatever value it is, let's say 120, height equals, let's say, 80. So this is what attributes will return. Width will only return the value, height will return the value, and type will also return the value as a type of the file. Okay, so we start with variable size equals getImageSize, the PHP function, and we're passing the path to the image, which is our first parameter. And then return our array, which is actually created of this getImageSize, and the case, which is the index which we want to return. And that's everything in this function. So now we know exactly what dimensions this specific image has, and we also reduce it if it's larger than 120 pixels width. Okay. Now let's continue with our statement here. So after the closing PHP tag, let's open the A tag, href. The path will be $page equals catalog hyphen item, then ampersand, which is ampersand AMP, and semicolon. Then we have category, and equals opening PHP tag, echo our category variable, and index which we want to return from this array will be ID. Then semicolon and closing PHP tag. Okay, then we also want to pass another parameter, so another ampersand, and then ID of the specific record. So ID equals, again, open PHP tag, echo, this time row ID, and semicolon and closing PHP tag. After this, we can close our opening A tag. Then we will have opening image tag, source, which will be basically in our image variable, which is opening PHP tag, echo image, semicolon and closing PHP tag. Then we have our alt tag, and inside of the alt tag, if we display echo helper, we use again our encode HTML method, and we will pass the row name to it, and we want the case 1 because our helper encode HTML method takes two cases. First one, which is a string by default, second one is set to 2, but number 1 simply converts everything to using HTML entities function. The other one is a little bit more complicated, that's why I didn't want to go through it. Okay, so here we got our encode HTML, which returns the name of the specific product and puts it into the alt tag, the alt parameter. Then we have width equals, and the width here will equal PHP echo width. which obviously we also created here. So after this, we can close our image tag. So / and closing tag. Then we close our A tag, and this is everything about our image. So our image should now display properly on the page. Then obviously we have another div tag with a class of catalog wrapper _right, and this is where all the information about the product will be displayed. Now, before we move to the next video, as you can see, we've used this path here, media catalog, twice. It's best to keep it in a catalog class, because obviously we can use it at any time later on as well, and rather than duplicating this, we can just keep it in one place. If we change obviously the location, we can change it just in one place. So if we copy this path media catalog, go to our catalog class, and we create a public parameter called path equals, and between a single quotes, let's put this path. Now, if we want to refer to this, obviously, because we have already created our object catalog instance of the catalog class, then obviously we can simply do it like this. We just can remove this, put our instance of the object _path, which is the parameter, and the same here, plus dot to concatenate this and assign obviously the name of the image. Now if we check our page in a browser, you can see nothing's happening here because obviously we haven't got any products, but we will start adding products later on once we are finished with this whole page. So let's move to the next video when we create actually the content for the right container.